Hello, hello. It is another week. And guess what? I was looking at all of the snow outside and I was thinking, this is going to be an interesting week. And it's funny because the times when you least expect. See, I am one that believes in challenges being the very things that set us up for success. Okay. So for those who don't know me, before we jump right in, it is Tuesday. And every Tuesday we have our tea and talk with LaTonia. Now I do have my beautiful LaTonia teacup, courtesy of Cindy Gaynor Harper. However, I don't have tea in it because I already drank my tea. I already have my tea for the day. I might have some for tonight. But I could not let a Tuesday go by. This is January. And my thing is this: if we can't keep our commitments the first month of the year, how in the world do we expect to keep our commitments throughout the rest of the year? And so I made a commitment at the end of the year that I was going to every Tuesday do a live stream. And my goal is to have it at certain times of the day consistently. However, if for whatever reason I don't get to have it at that set time, guess what? I'm still having it. Why? Because I have to keep my commitment. And it starts in steps. And so the reason why I'm talking about this is because a lot of the time, oftentimes when I have conversations with people about starting a business, they tell me all of the technical things that they've accomplished. They've gotten their LLC, or they've gotten their EIN number, or they got a bank account, or they're writing a grant. Okay, great. That's all of that stuff is really, really good and is very, very important in you being able to have a successful business and having a profitable business. But let me tell you something. The mindset is the most important part of being a successful business owner. Whether it's your ministry, whether it's your for-profit business as an LLC, whether it's an S corporation that you're filing, LLC that you're filing as an S corporation, whether it's a nonprofit that's community-based, I don't care what kind of mission-rich business you are running. I promise you that at the core of everything that you do is mindset. And we've been talking about mindset for the last couple of weeks because it's so important. And the reality is our tea and talk Tuesdays are like 15 minutes long, so you can't get through everything in 15 minutes. And so one of the areas of our mindset that we haven't really focused on a lot. Actually, we dug into it just a little bit. Maybe a couple of weeks ago, we talked a little bit about who you surround yourself with, right? And so today we're going to be talking about strong circles and the importance of strong circles. We're going to elaborate a little bit more than we did on the last time we discussed this. And the reason why this is very important is because, as I said a few minutes ago, I really had to sit down and think about, okay, I have a mentor or slash coach who's challenged us. Shout out to Jasmine Womack. She challenged us and said, I want to see you do live streams XYZ number of times a week, at least once a week, at least twice a week, or whatever your challenge is for yourself, and be consistent. And so I put it in my spirit. I'm like, girl, you're going to stick to this. You committed to it. You're going to stick to it. And let me tell you what happens. All kind of things are going to happen that you don't anticipate, that you didn't plan for. I saw the snow today and it was like the mindset that I had when I first saw the snow was, oh, well, snow day, don't have to do anything, relax, put the covers on, put some Netflix on, whatever. But my right mindset, see, this is the mindset, the strong mindset that says, look, if you are going to make any money, you got to get up and tunnel through the snowstorm. And so I didn't have to go into an office today or anything like that. That's why you see me here with my hat on and got my t-shirt. Wait, let me show y'all my shirt because my shirt is beautiful. Black, blessed, and beautiful. Yes, I am. And so are you. And so you might not be black, but you definitely blessed and beautiful. Okay, let's just clear that up. Anyways, so I'm like, my right mindset is like, girl, yes, it's cozy in the house. But you got to think, how are you going to get these things done that you got to get done? And I managed. I had all kind of meetings today and all that stuff. Thank God for technology. But my point is, because if y'all been following me, y'all know I like to take the scenic route. My husband reminds me of that almost every time I open my mouth. He's like, honey, you always take the scenic route when you talk. And I do, because I feel like if you are going to enjoy what I'm saying, you got to be able to see the visual of it, the clarity of it, the painting that I'm making, the landscape, I may not be able to do it a brushstroke like my daughter does or like my husband does, but I can absolutely say it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell the story. And so here I am getting everything done, doing what I need to do. And there's multiple items that I needed to accomplish today, and I accomplished most of them. And I'm thinking about my strong circle, how influential they are to me because I'm hearing their words in my mind as I'm being creative and as I'm tunneling through the slump of the snowstorm, making you want to stay home and just be cozy. And I'm like amazed at how much I'm getting done. And so you're probably like, okay, LaTonia, you said this, like, tell me more, get to the point. I'm getting there. The point is this. If I wasn't intentional about having people around me, people speaking into my spirit, into my mind, that speak strength, that speak faith, that speak perseverance, that remind you that excuses is not that's not the direction or journey that we take, right? Winners don't take excuses as a journey or an escape route. A lot of people do. I've encountered entrepreneurs who they have a whole list of reasons why things don't get done. They have a whole list of reasons of why they didn't deliver. And to be frank, if I wrote the reasons down and I read it, it's a legit reason. Like, but I also know that if you're gonna make an excuse about one thing, you're likely gonna find another reason to make an excuse about another thing. And if you're really good at being creative about how you tell the story, it's always gonna sound like it's a dire need for you to use that excuse for whatever, right? And if you get used to telling yourselves excuses all the time, guess what? You're going to believe them too, and you're going to give yourselves all these viable reasons and options for why you should not deliver on something, why it's okay for you not to deliver on something. Now, I am not telling you that there may not be times where you cannot commit to something that you committed to. What that tells you is that, and this is only if you're not a lazy person. Now, if you're a lazy person, then there's another session for you on another day. And you already know if you're lazy, you got to just be honest with yourself. Okay. So I'm not talking about being lazy. What I'm talking about is people who tend to have martyr syndrome, which I talk about a lot in the book, Mission Rich and Profit Powered. If you have not gotten your copy yet, as you can see behind me, you can order one, missionrichandprofitpower.com. Also, commercial, if you're in the Springfield area on January 27th. And when I say Springfield area, I'm saying like within driving distance, because you might be in New Hampshire and like, look, I want to drive down to meet LaTonia. Please feel free to come. On January 27th, we're going to be having our first in-person book signing at Olive Tree Books and Voices at 97 Hancock Street in Springfield, Mass. I am super, super, super excited. I'll talk more about that in a few minutes. Back to having your strong circles. So martyr syndrome I talk about in the book. And when I talk about martyr syndrome, it's this. The reality, and I'm saying this in a nutshell because obviously it's a little bit more than a sentence or two in the book. But when people suffer from martyr syndrome, which happens a lot in mission rich organizations, people who are very passionate about helping people and faith driven people, what tends to happen is that you often overextend yourself beyond your own ability, because in your mind you desire to do it, in your heart you really can see yourself achieving it and you really want to, but the reality is that you just don't have the capability to do it at that moment. Now, there's things that happen. There's things that you can do to improve upon your overextension. Number one is you set barriers because you want to make sure that you're not allowing yourself to, when I say set barriers, I mean set boundaries. Okay, set boundaries and discipline yourself. Don't say yes to everything. Say, let me think about it. Let me think about it. Because if you take time to think about something and you look at your schedule, you'll find realistically, I can't do this. So why commit to something that later on you're not realistically going to be able to do? Or worse, you actually do it and you're so burnt out and tired that it causes sickness and stress and anxiety or strains on your important relationships in your life. So there's a way to get around this though, right? And it's called putting in good systems. And putting in systems, and now we're going to get back to the point of what I was saying earlier about having a strong circle. I talked a few weeks ago about the importance of a strong circle being having people around you that are like, they can mentor you, they can coach you, they're confidants. Everybody on your strong circle has a different purpose. And there's different layers to your strong circles, right? There's your immediate folks, there's your people who are a little bit outside of that, and then there's those folks that are on the outskirts of it. Now, the people who are on the outskirts of it, they're going to be in your community. There are people that you're going to connect with, network with, delegate to, etc., right? However, as it gets closer, then the purpose and the roles of the people change, right, in your strong network. But the reason why your strong network is also so important, not just for having a confidant, not just for having people that you can rely on and that can rely on you, people that you can be honest with, that can be honest with you, because people in your strong circle can tell you and call you out. They can say to you, look, you know you wasn't right for that, or you know you out of line for that, or you know you shouldn't have said it that way. Or did you really prepare? Or did you really give it all? Like those people in your strong circle can just be real with you and hit you right to the core. And because you know they love you and they care for you, you understand and receive it differently than somebody who's not in your strong circle. And I'm not saying that you won't have mentors that are not in your strong circle. What I'm saying is that you have to be intentional that you put people around you that you can trust their judgment, that you can trust that they believe in you, that they want what's best for you, but also they are going to hold you accountable. You do not need people around you that's not going to hold you accountable. So now the reason why all of these is important, see, I'm moving it along. The reason why these are important, and that was just a refresher of what I talked about a few weeks ago. Now I'm going to pull it a little bit further. I'm going to move it a little bit more forward down the canal, in a way of speaking. And what I mean by that is that the people in your strong circle are also people that you can rely on to help you build your systems. So, perfect example. My graphic designer was getting back and forth, going back and forth with me, like, LaTonia, I need these videos, I need this, I need that. And I have an assistant that I'm working on onboarding. And it's been interesting. She's in college and her schedule is wonky and all of that stuff. So we're working out what that looks like for certain tasks that I have and certain standard operating procedures that I've been putting in place to make things a little bit more efficient. Because when you start to delegate, and you're used to doing a lot of things on your own, you have to be careful about how you communicate that so that you don't lose the value and quality of the work that you do when you hand it over to someone else. And so I'm like, okay, who can I talk to? Because I have people in my strong circle for different reasons. And then I just go to my son and I'm like, um, yeah, I need some help with something. And he's asked me what it is. And I told him what I needed help with. And I gave him the task and he started working on it. And he's almost done with the task. Thank God. I didn't ask him to do it before because, to be honest, I didn't think he'd be that interested. And he probably still isn't that interested. But because he loves his mom and he really wants to see his mom succeed, he's like, okay, fine. I get away from the Xbox or whatever he's playing because today's a snow day, right? And he said, no problem. So he's been going through doing the task that I needed him to do. And I said that to say, he goes, yeah, so I'm almost done. And and he said something that was hilarious. I can't even remember verbatim what he said, but it was funny. Basically, he said, okay, I this is not like my entertainment, so I'd rather get back to doing something fun on my day off. And I'm like, but you're getting paid for that. So to be honest, like I don't care if you're having fun with it or not. That's a mommy thing to say. We should care if they have fun with it or not. But he said, it was interesting and all of that good stuff. So he was going to finish the task and all of that. And so I said that to say that I was able to hire him to do a project. He got the project done or almost got it done. I think it'll be done by the time I'm done with this video. It'll be done. And he's in my strong circle. Now, normally I rely on my son for other things because my kids and my husband have always been, along with my mom, like everywhere I turn, if you see me, you see one of them with me. Like they're always there with me, if not one, all of them. And we've always been this very tight knit, very supportive family with one another. Any of us do anything, we're all there to root each other on and support one another. Shout out to my husband who just started ministry. I'm so proud of you. We're rooting for him and supporting him in that as well, right? Because that's what you do when you love your family and you believe and support in what each other does. And I'm going to talk about that in the upcoming weeks about having a family mission statement and the importance of that. But I don't want to get off track. Okay. So we'll definitely put that in a parking lot and bring that back in a next session or two. So just to finish my point is that having that circle around me, having somebody that believes in me, that wants what's best for me, even though my son would rather have been doing something else because he loves me, cares for me, and wants to do what's best for me, my assistant not being able to complete all of the tasks yet that I need her to do, he was able to jump right in and get those things done. And he's going to be honest, he's going to be critical, which he has been and which he is. And I receive it because I know his intentions. I know he's not trying to be rude or disrespectful or anything like that. And he never would say anything to me in a disrespectful way, anyways. But I want to prove the point that I knew that I could go to him. He's a very smart person, straight A student, very thorough, electrical, like engineer mindset. So I knew that if I gave him a task, he's going to complete it and he's going to be thorough in it. But it never crossed my mind before to ever ask him to do that task. So this is why you have to be critical of yourself and that you don't make assumptions about the folks in your strong circle. That if you know that they want what's best for you and they look out for you, try it. Ask questions. See what kind of things they may be interested in doing. And please don't just pull on them to do things for free. Please pay them. Please give them some. Some of them will not take money from you because they may not need the money or they just don't want the money or they're just doing something here or there. They don't want a long-term project. They just want to do it real quick just to help you out. But there's other times where you are going to need people in your strong circle on an ongoing basis, and you want to be able to compensate them for being a part of your team. Because let me tell you what happens. When you are effective in what you do and you deliver with excellence, you deliver with empathy, then you are going to find yourself in a place where you're increasing your contracts, where you're increasing your profits. And guess what? That person has not only earned what you paid them, now they've earned a little bit more. Okay. So you will end up making back whatever you invest in people if you deliver with excellence. Okay. So I can go on and on and on and on. I don't even know how long I've been talking, but I am just elated because I really want to I've been going for almost 20 minutes. Listen, I just want to make sure that it's very clear that you are looking at who your strong circle is. So let me give you this exercise to do before I sign off. Basically, what I want you to do, I'm just gonna go into my book real quick because I don't have to invent wheels when they're already being invented, right? Not reinventing wheels. So I want you to go into your, this is a little activity for you to do, to think about who's in your strong circle, your strong networks, right? I want you to go in and I want you to make a circle. And within that circle, I want you to make one, two, three, four, have five circles all together within the circle. One of them, the outside circle, is going to be your collective community, then your church community, your sister circle, brother circle, however circle you want to call it, your close family, then your immediate family. So for me, I list who was mine, right? In my book, I list who my strong network is. But for you, I want you to think about who your strong network is. And the reason why I want you to do that is because what you probably have never done is looked at your strong network to see not only what value are they to you, but what value can they be to your brand and to your business. And again, not for you to use them and suck their resources up, because that's not the business that we're in. When you're mission rich, you should not be in the business of being a leech. You should be in the business of giving of yourself and blessing and investing and sowing into other people, because I promise you, you reap what you sow. The more that you help out other people, the more that people will help you out. But there has to be a system in place. And so the reason why I mentioned my son, just to close the loop on this whole thing and as part of this conversation so that we can prepare for next week, is that when you have folks in your system, what happens, and the reason why you become more profitable and the reason why you're able to do things better with excellence, is that now you have folks who can help you to do things more efficiently. You have people that can help you eventually with social media. Like I mentioned, my graphic person, I didn't have a graphic person a year ago or 6 months ago. I actually got my graphic person through someone in my circle who happened to be one of my coaches. And she referred me to this person, and I fell in love with the way that they work, their work ethic, the way that they complete tasks, their reliability, all of that. And I'm like, look, I need somebody that I know I can send a text to, or email to, or whatever. And when I'm ready, it's done. I don't have to ask 15 times. I don't have to wonder what the price is. It's something I can afford. And so I ended up getting this person a few months ago, and I just love what they do. I have another person that helps me to get my workflows and stuff together like that through my CRM, that is finally, oh, almost like it's 99% ready. I've been using it and it's almost 100% ready. I'm about to have one last aspect of it done with my emails and all of that. But again, these systems that I have in place would not have come about with me doing it on my own. I had to trust some people that were in my strong network, who were able to either refer me to people that they trust that were in their strong network, or people in my strong network that had gifts that I did not know about because I never sat down to have tea or inquire, because I was so busy being busy that I never took the time to build relationship with people. And so that's the benefit of having that strong network, is that not only for you to have it so you can plug and ask, but for you to build relationship, because when you build relationship, then they see the value in being connected to you just as much as you see the value in being connected to them. And whether it's that person giving you the resource or giving you their time or whatever, or them connecting you with somebody else, you start to build and strengthen your network. And so now I have graphic designers, I have photographers that I now added to my strong network. I have some other folks that I'm moving into my strong network now. And it's vital. And some people won't last. Some people won't last. I have some people that have come and gone or whatever, and we've had good relationship. Didn't end on a sour note or anything like that. But it was just the nature of, the season that we had. And I learned what I could learn from them. They learn what they can learn from me, and then they move on. But anyways, I don't want to ramble. My time is up. I gotta go, y'all. I gotta go. But before I go, I just want to remind you all again, my puppy is having a whole field day right now, and I'm imagining it's because my husband's probably snow blowing or something, and she can hear it, and she gets crazy when she hears the snow blower. But as I mentioned, the book is out. You can order now, or you can pre-order for the book signing and have your book ready and signed and everything for the book signing. I do have VIP packages that will be available at the book signing, and the VIP packages are very, very reasonable. It includes a phenomenal VIP swag bag. And VIP folks will get an extra hour with me to be able to just ask questions, take pictures, all of that good stuff. And the great thing about it is that you, like I said, you get your swag bag. So you get bookmark, customized bookmark, you get a t-shirt, you will get a signed book, and you will get a signed workbook from me. Okay, there is a workbook that accompanies the book, and it helps to break down the exercises from each chapter in the book. So for folks who are very serious about hitting the ground running, and you're like, look, give me that book, give me that information, Miss LaTonia, because I need to know what you know so I can do what I need to do, because I got a passion that I need to build up and get profited, so that we can help people do whatever it is that you want to help people do. And so come to the book signing. Like I said, it's my first. I'm excited about it. I really can't contain myself because I'm so excited about it. And I'm anxious to see what God is going to do. I am so blessed by some of the reviews that I've received on the book already, and just some of the conversations and the commitment that folks have had to finishing the book and just giving me their insight, and it's really a blessing. And I gotta give another shout out to Jasmine Womack again from Publishing Paid Academy, because I tell you, she really, what I was writing before I met her and got into the academy was not the same thing that ended up coming out when I went through her program. And I say that because, and that's why I've been talking about mindset for so many weeks, and people are probably sick of hearing me talking about mindset, but I'm talking about it because there's the scientific proof that you have to hear something a certain number of times before it finally gets into your mind. And I just want it to get into your mind that that mindset is everything. I talk to people and they're like, oh, yeah, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. And they say all the right things. And then I ask them a question or I hear something and I'm like, they're not ready yet, because just that quick, something happened and now it's set back. When your mindset is completely shifted, it takes more than one thing to go wrong for you to change your mind and give up. I mean, you can have 100 things go wrong and you just don't give up. If I told you my story, if I told you a portion of my whole story, not the whole story, just a portion of the story, you would be like, how in the world did you get through that? How in the world do you do what you do? And I'm telling you, it's nothing but the grace of God and the fact that He shifted my mindset. And my mindset is been shifted in such a way that I don't see a way of going backwards from where I am. All I see is progression. And no matter what happens, I always have the ability to see it as this is a way up for me, not a way back. It may hurt, it may sting, it may make me cry sometimes, it may wear me out sometimes, but guess what? It is not enough to make me quit. Nothing. Nothing. And I tell you, I've been through a lot, and I'm not here to tell that whole testimony, but it has not been enough to make me quit. And I don't want you to quit either. That's the mindset that we have to develop in having the right people around us, having our faith strengthened, being centered on the things that is most important, those eternal things that are most valuable. That is the way that we stay connected to and keeping the right mindset that's going to allow us to tunnel through to victory, to profitability, and to being profit powered. So y'all have a good rest of your Tuesday. I look forward to seeing you again. I will actually be doing another live at some point this week, because I have to continue to talk about the book signing that's coming up and some of the things that folks need to be prepared for. And so with that, I will see you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. God bless you.